guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking a bit about life after uni. I did this video because it's something that I definitely can relate to so much, and I feel like it's something, the things that I wish people had said to me before I graduated uni. I feel like people tend to sugarcoat life after uni. They're not completely honest, maybe because they don't want to scare you, but it's hard, it's not easy, and I feel like there's so many people that probably feel the same way I do. So my main thing is how, like, you're never really prepared for life after uni, because although you know it's not going to be easy, it's not going to be an easy ride, I just don't think you can actually expect how much it just slaps you in the face, especially in your final year of uni, because you're so wrapped up in constantly doing work. Like, you don't have time to think, you're just concentrating on getting the work done, handing it in, getting like just one thing after the other, and maybe looking for jobs. And then the next thing you know, you've handed in your work, you've done your last exam, and you're like, amazing, that's it now. And you're like, okay, what next? You feel a bit lost because you're so used to always having something to do. And I know at first I was looking for jobs, but I thought, this is my summer, and everyone would say enjoy your summer, you know, before you get into working life, because that's it now. You're not gonna have it the way it used to be, where you have somewhat of freedom, you're less responsibilities. Not this, you're gonna be working for the rest of your life, as daunting as it sounds, but that's reality when it hits you. Like, this is it now. Yeah, I remember after I graduated, I lived my best life. Well, at the time I was living my best life, going festivals, doing this, just really enjoying my summer and looking for work. And then I think over time, that's when things started to hit, like, okay, so nothing's happening, but I've only just left uni, so you don't put much, I didn't put too much pressure on it, because you think, you know, I'm still young, there's time, this is the stage of life where you get to know yourself and get to find out where you want to go. And so it was only after a couple of months I felt a bit like depressed. I didn't want to be that person that's like, oh, I'm feeling down, I'm feeling this, you know. You don't want to label yourself just because you might be feeling a bit sad. And I remember seeing an article about post-uni depression, and I thought everything that was on the article I could relate to. And I thought, okay, so it's not just me, it's not just in my head, I'm not the only person feeling like this. Is a real thing. And I think it's a big I can't get my words out. It's a big adjustment when, especially when you've moved away from uni, because you spent 3-4 years of your life going to uni, coming back during Christmas, half term, summer, whatever. So when you come home, you see your friends or whoever's home there, and you're kind of happy just to have a moment to yourself, relaxed. You don't have no work to do, so you enjoy it, and then you go back to uni and do your thing. It only hits you when you move back for good, and you're like, everything's changed. Some of your friends are still going back to uni, like, everyone's all over the place. Your uni friends are all across the country, different countries, and you feel lonely. I definitely felt lonely. It took me months to adjust and get back and recoup. And it was like, I know I have so many friends around me, but I felt lost. I felt like I have no social life, I have nothing. Only recently I've started to feel a bit normal again in terms of life. Like, it really sunk in, that feeling that I had of loneliness. It's not true. Yeah, it just took me so long to get to a place where I didn't feel like my social life was like non-existent. It took me a while to even get used to living in Manchester again and being at home. And I think maybe now, especially, that a lot of my friends have moved back home, and yeah, things have just started to become normal. And I think one of the big things was meeting new people, which is something that I did. I made new friends, and yeah, things got better. And so then on top of all that, you've got looking for jobs, and it's all good and well at the beginning, you're optimistic, you know, the world is your oyster. You really, I think you leave uni and you're like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna get a job, get a car, this, move out, blah blah, you know. Obviously it's not always that straightforward, but you know, these things are, this is the stepping stone of things that you want to do. And then you'll be months down the line and nothing's happened and you're like, what's wrong with me? Going for interview after interview and being told you don't have enough experience, even though it's an entry-level job. And over time, so much rejection has you doubting yourself, like, do I actually have the skills to be able to do what I want to do? Even though I've just done a degree in it, I've had placements, I've done everything, so what is it? You start thinking, is it actually something to do with me? Is there something wrong with me? It knocks your confidence a lot, and it's hard. It does get to a point where it's hard to even stay optimistic, because it's like, what am I doing wrong? And especially when it comes to competition, you know, that's a given. I know a lot of people will compare themselves, or they'll apply for a job and maybe don't bother applying because you might think, oh well, there's like 200 applicants, what's the point, I'm not gonna get it. Now at the beginning, for me, that's not something I ever looked at. Like, if I was applying for a job, I just see me, in my head it's me and maybe one other person, but I'm like only focused on myself. But after this time when you've been rejected so much or not heard nothing back, you kind of think, you kind of now get to a point where you apply and you almost assume, what, I've not got the experience for that, or the, you know, when you're looking at what the requirements are, you're like, well, I've not got that, I've not got that, there's no point applying because they're not even gonna look at me, or no, there's gonna be someone better. And it's sad to think that you get to a point of that not even being something you would even consider, to you're crossing things off because you've heard it so many times that you're kind of over it at that point. You just don't care for it. One thing I really find annoying in the job interview process is when they're going through your CV and it's like, okay, so they've seen your CV, they've seen what you've got, they've invited you, you're talking about in the interview, they're like, oh my god, it's amazing you've got this, tell me more about it. You're telling them and they're like, wow, like they're really gassing you up and making you feel like, yeah, like look at me, I got this. And then experience, oh, we just don't feel like you have enough experience, try getting some more experience in the head office. If I am applying for this entry-level job, where do you expect me to get this experience from? Because in the interview you were saying something different, so what's the truth? How am I supposed to go somewhere and ask for experience when people don't respond? It's like you're stuck in a box. It's like it's frustrating because you don't know where to go next. You don't know right from wrong, you left from right. It's like one person's telling me one thing, I'm being told another. So is anyone going to give me a chance to show what I can do? I feel like one interview doesn't really, it's not, I don't think it's a good enough way to get to know someone, what they're capable of. You're talking about them most of the time, they're talking about things that are relevant. I've been to interviews where I'm like, what has this got to do with me or what I can do? The experience that I've had so far, I just feel like I hate it here. It makes you feel worthless. Like, it's like I wish I could go back to uni. As much as I hate the work and hate the stress, I was like, I'd rather be there than here, because this isn't it. This is like waking up every day and wondering, where's my life going? And with everything that's going on now, it's just like another slap in the face, because now you've got corona. And for me, before this pandemic started, I had things lined up, and then at the beginning of it, I got an email from one place saying you would have been perfect for this role, but with withdrawing it. I actually was supposed to be I applied for a graduate scheme, got through, supposed to have an assessment, then this happened and they were like, we'll let you know what's going on. And then about a month or two ago they emailed me and was like, can't afford to do it. And it's like back to square one. and it just doesn't help. You've got the lack of experience, corona, and I'm not gonna lie, I know sometimes I go to these interviews and I've been told my whole life like, oh, Shannon Lisa Marie Kelso, that sounds like such a white name, or oh, I thought you were white, or on the phone like people think I sound white. Now this isn't interviewers that have said that to me, like this is something I've heard throughout my life, like you sound white, or this and the other, which is not something that makes sense to me. Like it's just my name's like, it's just silly to me. But it then makes you think, when I'm going to interviews, I know I'm not what they expected. I've gone to interviews when they're like, Shannon Kelso, and I'm like, me? And they're like, Shannon? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah. In their head they must be thinking, a Negro? Like that's not what I thought I heard on the phone. But I get a vibe sometimes. I go to some of these places, like straight away I know I'm not gonna get this job. I already know. Sometimes I feel like maybe I'm over analyzing, but it's just been so much now. It's just like a cycle of I know where this is going. So with all this that's happened, the effect it's had on me, it's like it got to a point where my confidence was not, I had a lot of self-doubt. I was just really sad. And the thing is, I've got a roof over my head, I've got clothes, I've got food, I'm great. So, you know, my life isn't terrible. But it's one thing to do my career not going the way I want it to, not having something steady, not being able to do something that feels fulfilling and makes me happy. It makes me feel worthless. It makes me, there's days where I just feel horrible. Like, you think in such negative ways that it feels like nothing good is ever gonna happen. And then there's days when I'm a bit more positive, like my time will come, keep on trying, you know, nothing and no one can stop me from doing what I want to do. And these feelings is kind of what made me start doing my YouTube channel, because I felt like I need to do things to get out of my head. I think sometimes you spend too much time overthinking and it doesn't help you. It doesn't change the situation that you're in. So I had to do something that allowed me to be creative, allowed me to do something that I find fun and interesting. And even going to the gym, which is something I'm on and off, but right now I've started again, because even that just helps. Like even the other day I had a day where I just felt terrible. You know, when you're job searching, you'll look, and my thing is that I don't do it every day, because when you just see the same thing, it just makes you feel worse. I keep it, like I say, I'll check on a Monday and I'll check on a Wednesday and I'll check on a Friday. And I just had a terrible day where I felt like, this isn't life, this isn't it. I'm 23, this should be the best years of my life, and I am not living my best life right now. And with everything else that's going on, it's like you can't even really enjoy yourself much. So it's like you just feel closed in. I want to feel like I have some purpose, and right now I don't feel that. I just try and keep myself occupied with anything, any little thing, and all the kind of self-doubt that I have. Like even lately I've been thinking, am I doing the right thing? What I want to do in life, should I just pack it up and consider doing something else? Like even one thing I like right now is how people are not just sticking to one thing. If there's 3 things that they want to do, they're gonna pursue it. And so I've just been in a mindset like, what else would I like to do? I did consider going back to uni, but again, everything that's going on, I'm not paying for online lectures for something I'm not 100% sure would I end up in the same position where it's, even though you've got a qualification in it, it's not enough. I hate feeling powerless when something is in somebody else's hands, and I think that's something else that gets me frustrated. Is I can be doing the most, I can be trying my hardest, but to a certain extent that there's a power in somebody else's hands, and it's a waiting game. I have to wait on them, I have to rely. I don't like relying on people. I like to just get things done and do things myself, and that's restrictive. when it comes to searching jobs, because you're just waiting for that one person that sees your potential and will hire you. Something that I think would be really useful for people to do is research into what you're, before you start uni, look into what it is you're going to do and the job prospects. Because for me, what I studied, there are many job prospects. There's just a lot of competition. Competition's like 100 times more right now, but you just have to persevere. But I know many people that study certain subjects, and it's like, unless you're 110% sure you're gonna do it, the chance of you getting far or getting to a high level in that profession is unlikely. Like, you might be just capped to a certain level forever. Well, that sounds dramatic saying forever, but there's only so far in the profession you can go. Do you really want to go, I'm not saying waste, but you don't want to go to uni and do something and be like, I wasted my time doing that, or I can't even get a job in this, and then you end up having to do something else. I think a lot of people have done that, where they've done their degree and it's like, I don't even want to do this anymore. I feel no passion for it and I'm not going to get anywhere with it. So I think, look into, it's all good and well. I think when you're applying for uni, people think, oh well, I was good at this, so I think I'm just gonna do that. That's not what it should be. You should do something you're good at, yes, but something you're also passionate about and you know you're gonna get far in. It's not gonna be easy, it's not gonna be straightforward, but there's hope for you to become successful, and you're not gonna be stuck on 20k, 30k. Like, that's not what we want. We all want to be on big money, we want to do well, we want to have success. So that is something I'd say, just make sure you really look into it. My main things are, we're so young, and I feel like we often put a lot of pressure on ourselves, like we should be here by now, we should be doing this, and I do it, and I have to remember I'm 23. Like, life has even started. I know there's probably 23-year-olds right now that still don't even know what they're doing. They're just living their lives, and whatever it will be. There's people in their 30s that are really just figuring out what they want to do. And I think we all as people need to be easier on ourselves. I know 100% I need to be easier on myself. Like, I have to remind myself, I am not the problem. I'm good at what I do. I will be amazing, I'll be successful, I'm going to be great. And yeah, you're not alone. You're not alone. And I think, like I said, the whole life after uni is just something that gets sugar coated into, yeah, it's great, you know. And I look and I see it in people's faces, I'm like, yeah, it's great. No, it's not. Let's be honest, it's not great. It's hard out here. It's the ghetto. It's tragic. If you're at uni right now, despite everything that's going on, just make the most of it. Make the most of not having to live this chaos. So yeah, that's my little rant. That's like my little vent of just life, careers, and everything I've been feeling, everything maybe people watching, you guys might have been feeling. And my last words, like what I've just been saying throughout this video, is if you're in the same position, keep going. Don't give up on yourself. Stay optimistic. Whatever it is you want to do, don't it's easier said than done, but don't doubt yourself. Like, our time will come. Like, one day you're gonna look back on this, but like, remember that time back when I was younger and I was stressing and I thought the world was on top of me and I had no hope, and look at me now. Like, that's just what I keep saying to myself. That's how I get through. That's how I'm just, I hate to say this word, but this is what this is what I've just been manifesting. But anyway, thank you guys for watching this video, and I don't know if it's been helpful, useless, I don't know if you guys enjoyed it, whatever, but I would like to think that if anyone's been feeling down or anything, it can maybe lift your spirits a bit to know that it will get better. And yeah, we're in this together. We're all going through the same thing. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.